Hello, happy Wednesday. And we're in a new room. My husband's office, which is much bigger than mine. Rude. And he's in it less. I think there needs a bit of a change there, but then if you could see his room and mess that he accumulates as a techie, there is nowhere else to put it. So today, because of said dog, said light, said lack of room in my office, and the sun is shining, which is brilliant, and thank the Lord, because it's a bit cold outside, is that it's just not feasible for me to do my vlogs in there at all. Anywho, let's get on to some good news, which is the Greengrocers has been taken over by a lovely lady called Leanne, who I am yet to meet and set to meet towards the end of February, when she's just settled in and taken the reins of the Greengrocer, which nobody knew anything about. Which I'm quite shocked and a little bit disappointed, if I'm honest. Lee and Louise and Zach and Chloe, such a lovely family. And I've shopped at the Greengrocers for 20 years, maybe. Longer than that. And for them not to even mention it, even at Christmas, that they were leaving. And to be fair, there might be personal circumstances there, but I was just a bit gutted that I didn't get a chance to say goodbye. And I suspect a lot of other people, if they didn't know, may also be a bit, shocked at that. But the good news, and going forward, Leanne has, by all accounts, got some really good plans for the Greengrocers. She's going to take the reins, and like I said, it's going to take a bit of time for her to sort of just keep running as it is, and then put her plans in place. So her plans are definite, confirmed by Leanne, is to have a deli at the end of the month / March. I suspect that will just be how things plan out with her taking the reins. But to have a deli in the high street is just brilliant. I'm so excited. I have mentioned it to a few businesses in the past about having a deli. I know that Lee used to have a fishmonger side, like fish offering, but it just didn't go down well. It was costing too much money, like everything costs too much money. So he pulled that and didn't do it anymore. But to have a deli, I cannot wait to meet Leanne to find out what the plans are there and what she's going to do, because it'll just, make me buy from the Greengrocers even more. I love the Greengrocers because of many, many things. 1, it's a really nice shop to be. 2, it caters for me and my family. 3, cost-wise, everyone thinks it's expensive. It's not, because I only buy what I need. Like a small packet of mushrooms, like 10 mushrooms in a bag rather than a pack of mushrooms, 1 avocado rather than 3 avocados, a little bit of ginger rather than a big massive bit of ginger. I'm just using them as examples. So you could buy 2 carrots rather than a plastic bag of carrots. So the Greengrocers is my kind of shop, and I love it because of that. And I've never come away, even at Christmas, and gone, oh my God, that's extortionate, ever. Because I've bought just what I need. So I'm hoping this is just going to give more to the Greengrocers, having the deli, and then we'll find out, hopefully at the end of the month, what else she's going to bring. Thankfully, we are in February. Well done, January. Out of the way. Just feels like forever, as we mentioned last week, and everybody mentions all the time. January just seems to go on forever, and it's because everyone's waiting for payday. It's because all the lights are down. It's because it's dark and nights are dark early. It's quite miserable. The weather's a bit rubbish. Getting out in the wet, it's not fun. So it's just glad that it's out the way. And then, but what I found is that it's even towards the last week of January, people are talking about spring, and I think it's a hopeful thing. It's like, oh, spring's around the corner. It is round the corner. But I've seen sort of daffodils for sale yesterday, and I was like, oh, it's February. But then it also depends when Easter falls and when Mother's Day falls. And I've seen lots of information out there already about them dates. And also, I think I was in Marks and Spencer's yesterday, and they've all got Mother's Day cards and stuff out. So that then made me look at the date and thought, actually, it's not that far away. But when you see the crocuses coming up, and you see people who put daffodils, and obviously Garforth and Bloom put daffodils all around the town, it's really nice, because then I think, yeah, okay, it is round the corner. But everything, it seems to come earlier and earlier. Like Valentine's, lots of lovely things being shared by our businesses. I think Northern Rose yesterday put up an idea for the men out there, with partners who like a bit of pampering at the hairdressers. They're doing some vouchers for Valentine's Day. I did look at peas. Matthew put a video up the other day, joking, tongue-in-cheek, about buying stuff for Valentine's Day. I just think he has to be very careful, Matthew. Very careful. I could see it. It was funny. If you haven't seen it, go and see it and you can make your own mind up. But I did have a fair few people commenting. Are we still at that age bracket? You just got to play it carefully, haven't you? So funny. I saw it, just tongue-in-cheek sense of humour. It was funny, and I liked the bit at the end. Matthew is trying with peas to put up more videos to show you that you probably didn't know what's in peas. There's so many people that go peas and use peas all the time for things, but actually, do they know what's in there? What is actually they do sell, especially at the timber yard? And he was doing quite a couple of videos about glass cutting and wood cutting, which you might not know about. So do follow peas, because they are starting to put up some great videos, and I think Matthew alluded to being on TikTok as well. So they're going to embrace some of the video side of things to show you more about what's in peas, which is brilliant. My kind of thing. I like it. Looking at Facebook for business purposes as a social media platform is great, because the demographic of age is really good. It is a demographic of people who generally have a job, then have money, sort of coincides. Not a lot of money because everything's so expensive, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But it's the demographic. So in 2004, which I've mentioned before, 2004 is when Facebook came out. So if someone was 45 and joined then, at 65, 66, they're still on now. However, what that brings for my personal use of Facebook is a whole different thing. And as of yesterday, and I've been thinking about it for a while, I've stepped away from my personal Facebook page, because unfortunately, if you are a business owner on a social media platform of any form, like Facebook, you have to have your own personal page to use as sort of an admin, like a manager, in order to have a business pages off that. But I've come away because I used to follow lots of great things, sort of pages, news, TVs, films, people on Facebook, and it was great. But the last sort of year or so, and it's probably longer than it needed to be really, that I've seen more and more hate, more and more horrible comments, more and more reasons for me to leave Facebook, not directed at me, just directed at people that people don't know. And unfortunately, and I've looked at it and I've researched it to give my reasons to come off it, and I don't want to be associated with that people. And I know it's not everyone at all, because I've got some really nice friends and long-term friends on Facebook, but for me personally, there's a reason why sometimes people are using this phrase a lot more, which is it's okay to not be okay. And social media has a massive impact on why people aren't. And for someone to, like an example, I think it was the nail in the coffin yesterday when there was watching something on who was coming up on the One Show, which I don't watch that much telly, as in, terrestrial telly. But the One Show I quite like, because they have some really nice guests on and gives you information about what's coming up and what they're in, and I quite like to watch it and also sing one. I do, so does the family, so we like to watch it. And I just saw an article on it, read it, and then the thread of abuse because somebody was on it that they didn't like was, oh, I can't stand her, I'm not watching it, oh, she's just a miserable cow, oh, I just don't like her at all, oh, I think she's horrible. And it just went on and on and on. It's not okay. We're in a world where people say, oh, it's okay, it's freedom of speech. You don't have to shut up. You don't have to. Just because it's freedom of speech doesn't mean you have to free that speech with hate on somebody you don't know. Imagine if that person had come on to your personal, or that person's personal Facebook page and went, 35 wrinkles on your face and your dress looks crap. Would that be okay for you? They don't know you. And for them to go on your social page, and it's like, well, there are, people will deem it as, well, they're famous, so they'll get whatever. No! And I just don't want to be associated with that. I don't want to be associated with the high percentage of people who have them opinions about people they don't know, or things they don't know, or an opinion about what's going on in the news. I don't want it. So I've come away from my own personal Facebook page, and I don't think I'll miss it. But moving on to lovely things. One of the estate agents, Mark Manning of Manning Stainton, who's classed himself as a property expert, has said, and I did put this article up the other day, the hottest suburban villages to watch out in 2025 are Farsley and Garforth. Garforth are to look out for, because obviously it goes without saying we've got good schools, and now we've got 2 outstanding according to Ofsted, and obviously transport links, motorway links, 2 soft play centres, new development coming on, a buzzing high street, he added in abbreviated commas, sports that are available like the rugby and the cricket, and green space, could do with a bit more, and lots of cool projects with volunteers going on, Garforth and Bloom, Incredible Edibles, Feastful, stuff like that, G-Fest, lots of things that go on in Garforth. So apparently we are one of the towns to watch in 2025, according to Mr. Mark Manning. Mark Manning. Do you know what you didn't mention? You didn't mention the main deal. How rude. How rude. How rude. Lisa, if I make a phone call. What's coming up? St. Mary's, I see and hear that we have a new male vicar. Don't know his name yet. I'm sure that will come out on socials, because the lovely Jane that was vicar had her last, do they call it mass service? In St. Mary's last week, so I'm sure the information will be out there. She's been great on socials, has Jane and the team of the church. Tonight is parents group for SEND, SEND, at 6 p.m. at Luna Aura, which is 20A Main Street above the Co-op. And there's lots of things going on in the next couple of weeks. Please do go and have a look at your Facebook page and look for events, and I'll tell you all there what's coming up, because there's lots of things coming up locally with regards to music and events. Haven't, again, like I mentioned last week, I still yet to get in touch with Amanda just to find out where we are with Huddle. But there's lots of things going on. If you don't look at events at Facebook, or look at where we are, because obviously we share business stuff all of the time. It's always up to date on all the socials, and then on the website, themaindeal.co.uk. Keep following it and you'll find out the information so you don't miss out, because even if you've lived here 72,432 years, you might not know about it. Have a beautiful day. I'm off to Monkey Maze this afternoon. Haven't been for about 10 years. I'm taking my niece, and I'll be in.